There are very few groups of people in the world who would be willing to pay for the same commodity over and over again, no matter how high the prices rose. Well, one of those groups of people are diabetics, and the commodity is insulin. In the United States alone, there are more than 34 million diabetics, and of those 34 million, 1.6 of them are type 1. Now, a type 1 diabetic is someone whose pancreas makes zero insulin. And insulin is an essential hormone that your body uses to absorb and use glucose. And without insulin, your body will not function properly, and if no action is taken, it will lead to death. Over the past 2 decades in the United States, though, insulin prices have continued to rise while its production prices have stayed the same. And this problem has affected the lives of millions of people who need this drug to survive. I personally have been affected by this because I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been diagnosed for the past 5 years, and just in that short period of time, I've had to deal with the price increase of insulin personally. And so the goal of this speech is to tell you the costs that are involved in the production of insulin, how high the prices have risen, and what can we do about it. So first off, the production of insulin. When insulin was first patented, it was in the 1920s, and it was being made from the pancreases of cows and pigs. It was revolutionary at the time because before this, to be diagnosed as a diabetic was essentially a death sentence. And so this revolutionary insulin production method from harvesting from animals continued from the 1920s to the 1970s when we were able to start producing insulin in a lab. And this makes the cost of the production of insulin pretty low because all the lab has to do is make a large volume of insulin producing microbes, and they'll have an endless supply of insulin to harvest. However, in the medical world, there are 2 types of medicines that go through approval processes by the FDA, and one of those is molecular and the other one is biological. And insulin is a biological drug, and because of this, it goes through a more rigorous approval process by the FDA. So with that understanding of insulin production over the years and its approval process, let's talk about how the prices have continued to increase. One of the main reasons that the prices have continued to increase is because there's only 3 main manufacturers of insulin, and they hold patents. Usually what happens when a drug has been on the market for a long enough period of time, a patent will expire, and that will allow other companies to come in and make generic versions of that same drug, driving the prices down because there are more competition. However, what these 3 main corporations have done is they've been able to extend the life of their patents by making small, insignificant tweaks to their insulin, and they've stacked their patents on top of each other, thus extending the life of it. And so the second reason is that even if another company was able to come in and create a generic version of insulin, because of the FDA the FDA process of it being a biological drug, it would actually be very rigorous and time-consuming and expensive. And so those are the first 2 reasons why the prices of insulin have gone up. But the third one is that the FDA does not control or regulate the prices of drugs. And so the manufacturers make the drugs and set the prices for them, and they don't have to disclose how they set those prices. It is very sketchy. And so we have to ask, what can be done about this? Because many diabetics in America are leaving to go to other countries such as Canada to buy insulin because it's so much cheaper there and come home. But that's not helping the fight here at home, and so there are many groups that have been forming to fight against this injustice that's been taking place. They're informing people on which bills to sign that we should vote for that will help with the oversight of these companies. And I would ask that you please go to makeinsulinaffordable.org, which is the Diabetes Association of America's website, where they'll give you so much more information than what I'm giving you right now, where you can learn more about the issues and learn more about how you can get involved. We need to be a voice for those who are going without so much just to be able to afford medicine that they need to survive. And so in conclusion, the price of insulin production is not very high. However, these companies are taking advantage of people that need this drug, and they're getting rich off of it. And in order to respond, we need to sign petitions to get our government to see that there's a need for transparencies in these corporations to bring millions of people much needed relief from not only taking on the toll of this disease, which is physical, but also financial and emotional as well. And so please help, please join, get involved. Thank you for your time.